Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie Boozer with CUGC HQ, and I am so excited to welcome you to today's webinar with ZeeTim. Happy Cinco de Mayo, happy Revenge of the 5th, or happy May 5th, whatever this day is for you. I hope you're having a great day. Wanted to point out a couple of CUGC events before we get started. We have a couple of user share webinars coming up. That's when our CUGC members, are really smart, really awesome CUGC members, come to us with a presentation they'd like to share, so you can see those on the screen. Also coming up soon is our CUGC XL event. That is a afternoon full of technical sessions. It's awesome. It's amazing. You should definitely register. And always, we have our CUGC local meetings coming up. And I don't know if you noticed, anyone who's astute would see that tomorrow is the Phoenix Metro meeting. So that will feature our own Steve Greenberg, who you can see on the screen. He'll be speaking at that tomorrow. So make sure you check that out if you haven't. All right, so as I said, we're welcoming ZeeTim to our webinar stage today, and they're going to be talking about lots of great stuff that they have for us, lots of great stuff for Citrix, and I think that they might have like just some amazing solutions for you also. I can't wait to dig into it. But before we get to them, I just want to remind you that we are recording today's session, and you will get a link to this recording. It'll come to you tomorrow from GoToWebinar, so be on a lookout for that. Please submit your questions in the questions/chat panel that you have. Submit them as you have them. We'll try to get to as many as we can today. Put them in at any time. And then finally, at the end, I'll throw a link in the chat for you to a short survey. It's anonymous and for CUGC use only. Okay, so I'm about to hand things over, but I just want to briefly introduce and welcome Omar Kechrid. He is the VP of Business Development at ZeeTim, and Sabir Tapory, the founder and CTO. Hello, Omar and Sabir.
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
And then also, thank you. Also, as I mentioned earlier, Steve Greenberg is on the call with us. Steve is going to be keeping an eye on all of your questions. So as you type those in, he'll be sorting through those and trying to answer some and asking them aloud. So here we go. Omar, I think I'm sending you the screen first. Am I right?
Yep, please.
Okay, it is coming your way. And then I'm going to turn my camera off. I'll be back at the end when you guys wrap up.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Right. So,
while we're setting up the presentation, I'd like to give an open invite for anybody to join us for the Phoenix Metro CUGC meeting tomorrow. It's a local user group, but it is virtual, so everyone's welcome. If you go on to mycugc.org, you can join the group. Even if you're not in Phoenix, you're totally welcome. We've had people from all around the world, and we'd love to have you tomorrow if you want to join us. Okay, Omar, you're up.
all right, thank you, Steve, and thank you, Stephanie, for everything that for CUGC also allowing us to have this this platform. We're happy to be part of the community, and we'll try to give as much insight as possible today on who we are and what we do. So before I hop into that, I actually wanted to show a quick video. So I have a 9-year-old, and he's very into he's into like animation, comics, and he's got a YouTube channel he's very proud of. But he's also very curious, like most kids his age. And so he's been asking me a lot about what we do with ZeeTim. He sits next to me. With COVID, he's working from home as well. So he's asking me a lot of questions about what we are and what we do, and Citrix and all these things. So I've given him some insight, but I also challenged him. I said, you know what? Use your animation skills to do a video on ZeeTim. And so he really took up the challenge, and he made this this quick video. So we'll start with this.
Before you go, I just want to say, when I saw this, I almost wanted to cancel this webinar because at 9 years old, Aziz beat us to it. I think you guys will really love this. This is awesome.
Yeah. So he did a pretty good job. So I think do you see the video screen now, Steve?
I'm seeing an error actually. but I don't know if that's my endpoint. Sorry, this portion of the webinar cannot be viewed on your device.
Okay. Sabir, are you able to see it?
Tell us if she's seeing it.
I just see a black screen. There's one thing I can do. I can pull up that other link and I can play it from my screen on YouTube. That's one thing I can do.
Let's sure, Stephanie, if you wanna do that.
All right, give me 1 second.
Yeah, other people
You
are saying
guys,
that. Yeah, okay. Other people say
no,
they see it, but I wasn't.
Okay.
video was stuck. Okay. You guys talk amongst yourselves for a second and I'll find it really quickly. I'll have it ready.
Yeah.
What technical webinar would be complete without a glitch, right?
Absolutely. it's
Also, you guys are both French speakers, so people are welcome to converse in French. I'll do my best to bring it across, but I might have to tell you to read a comment or two, Omar. But I know Arnaud is out.
Sure.
You're welcome to do this in French if you like.
Sure. We're happy to take questions in French. You know, we can also take some questions in Arabic. I speak Arabic as well, Steve. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it is Cinco de Mayo. I was really expecting you, Steve, to do something for Cinco de Mayo, maybe wear a sombrero or something. But
I was a little bit busy. I didn't really pull it off, but I do have my Cinco de Mayo disco ball running in the back. So that's my contribution,
nice.
and I've got my Cinco de Mayo smoothie going. So I think we're good.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Cool.
All right, just give us a minute, guys. We appreciate the feedbacks that we were seeing people say they could see the video and they couldn't. So it might be different on different devices, and we'll just give it a second.
Yeah, and we're actually debating to show it in the beginning or at the end, but you know, I think it's actually a good way to open open the eyes to seeing what ZeeTim does.
Okay, I think I got it, guys.
I see it now.
All right, perfect.
Everyone. My name is Aziz. I'm a 9-year-old third grade student, and you may know me as the creator of the YouTube channel Aziz Comics. I recently had the opportunity to work with ZeeTim and Citrix, and it was a fantastic experience. Citrix provided me a virtual workspace, like apps and desktops in the cloud. And ZeeTim gave me solutions which make it secure and simple for people like me to access that virtual workspace. So let me run you through my experience. I was first given a secure USB called ZeeKey. I used this USB and plugged it into the device from which I would connect to my virtual workspace. I plugged it in the device and boom, it launched the Workspace application and put in my username and password automatically. Wait, where did those come from? Because I never even chose a password before. I did, however, choose a PIN code which I entered. I was then asked to approve my access through my iPad ZOTP application, and as soon as I hit OK, my session was launched. What I did not know at the time is that the device I was using was ZeeTim Thin Client, and it was super smooth. Even when I called my class through Zoom, it sounded crystal clear. Well done, Citrix and ZeeTim. I disconnected from that device and moved to another ZeeTim laptop, plugged in my ZeeKey USB, entered a PIN code, and accepted the push notification on my iPad, and there it was, picking up where I left off. So easy, so simple, and on my next vacation to the beach, it will be so handy. Gotta love technology. Thank you, Citrix and ZeeTim, for giving me this experience. Keep up the good work.
There we go.
Amazing.
So yeah, I mean, so we won't mind the spelling mistakes. I won't tell them about that one, but overall, I hope that gives the gist. I mean, we are trying to develop a full-blown solution around Citrix, around other virtualization platforms. To give the users a really good experience. So let me just go back to my slides. So you should be able to see my slides now.
That's it.
Not yet, give it a sec.
Okay, show this window. No, that's the wrong one.
There we go.
See this
I think
one,
you
right?
waited to show that to me. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So a little bit about who we are. So ZeeTim, we're a French-based company. We're headquartered in France. Founded in 2010. We have operation out of the DC area here in the States, and also out of Dubai. We actually started developing product before the company was founded. We have a sister company that's a system integrator in France called Insia. And they've been doing Citrix and other virtualization products or solutions for almost 30 years now. And through their experiences, through going to customers and facing issues, a lot of gaps were found, and we took the initiative to actually develop solutions. And as we talked last time, Steve, a lot of things, they start off as small scripts, they develop into smaller apps, and then all of a sudden you have full-blown products. So today we find ourselves with quite a few solutions in our portfolio, which we'll be showing. But just regarding the the type of customers that we address, we have some of the logos that you see here, but we really address any customer that is running VDI. Okay, so what's our mission as a company? So we are looking to deliver a comprehensive edge solution for accessing cloud apps and desktops, and we focus on three major pillars. So those pillars are security, the management of the users, and also the user experience. And I think if you look at a lot of the recent surveys, like recent one was VDI Like a Pro that came out, you'll see that it echoes these priorities. So this is really what we try to focus on. And in addition to that, because we bundle multiple solutions, this can have economic advantages also. And one of the top things that people are looking to help is also cost. So we can help in that sense as well. We do, a lot of people think of us as like a thin client or endpoint vendor, but we go beyond that, and you'll see that in today's presentation. I mean, we go into like user access, user authentication, different management aspects, and also the experience when the user is in his session and performance. So you'll see us a lot on our social media, and hopefully you guys can follow us on various social media channels. That we always say not just an endpoint. This is something that a tagline that we keep repeating, just to emphasize this point that we do more than that. So this slide is going over our product range. So we do some things on the endpoint side. So on the endpoint side, we have ZeeTim, which is it's comprised of our operating system and our management tool. We can manage thousands of devices. They can be located anywhere. We have a hardware component or a hardware device that we offer, but we also give the option of users to create their own. So you can have, if you have a PC laying around, if you even have a USB, you can actually run our operating system. And you do that using our Z Transformer product to transform those devices. So on the security side, we have ZKey and ZOTP. So ZKey is it's a secure USB token that has user credentials on it. And the user doesn't even need to remember their password. So they would be given that by their administrator. They use it to access not only their workspace, but also when they're inside the workspace and they're accessing applications or websites, they can retrieve their credentials. It's protected by a PIN code, so it's similar to using a credit card. You would just put in a PIN code. You can combine ZKey with ZOTP. So ZOTP is an MFA solution that we provide to add, more, more security to the process of authentication. Finally, the last piece is user experience and the performance. And with our operating system, we do a lot of tuning to make sure that things like audio, video run well on our operating system. But also we can support different peripherals. So if you know, a lot of times it's challenging, you know, to support, you know, different scanners and printers and things of that nature. In addition to this, we have the ZPrint, which is our full-blown printing solution. And actually, printing is one of the first areas we addressed even prior to founding ZeeTim, you know, under our sister company. And so we've been doing printing for a long time. Printing has gotten better, but there's still improvements, you know, things like compression and speed of printing. And now we have cloud, you know, so which we want to centralize driver management. And these are all areas that we address with ZPrint. And we'll dive into more detail when Sabir goes through it. But the idea is that, you know, you can bundle all these in what we call Z Edge, and you have one vendor, one point of support, all via a company that really understands end user computing and speaks the same language. So ultimately, what we want to get rid of is these issues that you probably keep hearing at the help desk level. I'm sure you guys can come up with better ones, you know, probably funnier ones or more frustrating ones. And actually, maybe for a laugh, you know, we can share some of these in the chat and vote on the best one. But you know, the idea ultimately is for us to remove this friction that exists and give the users a better experience. You know, give them a more intuitive experience, and give the administration and the management give a better solution for those guys that are doing the administration. So
I think you just left out, Omar. The one you might have left out is Citrix doesn't work.
Got to be careful on that one.
Yeah.
But you know, so this is you know, I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that we can add here, Steve.
Sure. I like your idea though. If people want to post some fun complaints and problems they've had, that would be cool to hear. So feel free to go ahead and post that up.
Yeah, I'd love to hear some good ones. I don't know what this one is, by the way.
Well, actually, this is a good moment. We have a question from Angel. Last time you had mentioned that you spoke, you're working on scanners. Is scanners in planning?
Okay, so we weren't planning to talk about roadmap, but for sure, scanning is in the works. You know, we are doing some R&D around that. So we hope, you know, sometime this year to have a solution around scanning.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so I think with that said, I'm going to pass it to Sabir. Sabir is going to take us through the journey of the user, you know, and the experience that the user gets. This time in a non-cartoon fashion, you know, so we'll look at the reality of things, and also kind of what happens in the background. And there is a lot to show, but we'll do our best to get through it here.
Thanks, Sabir. Go ahead and take it away and show us the map.
Let me move the control to Sabir.
Okay, please.
Sabir, I'm a little bit annoying because I'm going to interrupt you before you jump in. When we talked in planning for this, I was amazed I didn't know you, because we've both been around this space for a long time. So if you don't mind me interrupting this broadcast, just to talk a little bit about how long you've been in the Citrix world and some of the things you've done real quick, because I found that I was amazed I didn't know you because of the time frames and all the things we've done. I feel like I should have, you know, been friends with you for 20 years. So just if you would tell us about some of the things you've done.
As I said, my journey with Citrix starts in the early days of Citrix, when they were still, staying at the Coral Spring. I spent some time with them over there. I had to translate the product to test WinFrame, WinView, and WinFrame model. That I don't know. I think there are many of us that still reminds that. But so that was my first, connection with Citrix, and I didn't stop until now. And then I came to France and then tried to set up things here. Try to set up things in the Middle East also. We started with Citrix also in the Middle East, right? Training, consulting, and so on.
Yeah.
And here we are.
That's right, all these years later. And you've been working in the field and consulting and writing code and doing all kinds of stuff, right?
Exactly, yeah.
That's cool. Well, thanks for being here, and we're looking forward to seeing the demo.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Omar, for sharing that. Let me try to share my desk. Can you? Okay, you guys. Okay.
Yep, it looks good.
Yeah, let me start my.
And I have to save my reputation. I clarified in the chat when I said Citrix doesn't work, I meant that was the thing users say, and then you'd have no idea what the problem is. They call up and say Citrix doesn't work. So I wasn't slamming Citrix. I just want to clarify.
It's very easy to blame. Yeah, it's very easy to blame it on Citrix. It's the first.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the first place to go.
Okay, so let me just. Okay, this is it. F. Okay. So my turn now. Let's hop onto the onto what Omar have said to you, and see how all of these things come together. As Omar said to you, the aim is to deliver the best user experience to a user when connecting to a virtual environment, and especially a Citrix one. You are going to see a short video. It's the same experience as Aziz explained to you, but in a more realistic fashion, and you'll see more. Real stuff that you will recognize. So we'll see. First, how we can have our endpoint, how we can create a ZeeTim endpoint. Then we'll go through accessing the virtual desktop using ZKey and ZOTP. And then you'll see that we're going to access also a virtualized application. That means an application which is running into the virtual desktop, which will also access get its credentials from ZKey. And at the end, you'll see how the user will print. So let's say this is John Doe. So John Doe is going to for a weekend at his friends, and he needs to connect to the office. He doesn't have his laptop; he just have the laptop of his friend. And so, how will we connect? So we just go get the operating system called the transformer from our website, download it, put it in a USB key. Using this little tool we provide that allows him to make a bootable USB key. Sorry, yeah. Plug the key, boot the device. This will be, I think, this is the hardest thing we can do. Okay, how to boot USB key. Okay. But I hope you manage it. And then he gets a ThinCan desktop there. He has all his applications there. John has forgotten all his credentials, but he has his ZKey with him. So he'll plug his ZKey USB there. As soon as he plugged, he's asked to enter a PIN code. And then everything comes automatic there. So let me just go back. I think I can show you that there. Sorry. And okay, so connection to storefront is automated by ZKey. ZKey provides the credentials there. Since we have we need to authenticate strongly, so it asks for an OTP through ZOTP. So on his mobile phone, he's asked to request to authenticate himself. Done. And then run Citrix and start his desktop. So here he's connected to his desktop using ZOTP ZKey from his friend's laptop. He's going to connect to Office 365 and he needs to print a document. So here also, ZKey will provide the credentials. So this application is running into its virtual desktop. So to virtual channels, we go and access the ZKey USB and get the credentials there. He'll open his files and he will print on his friend's printer. Without worrying about drivers, about anything else. So this is what we are proposing with all these products. Okay, sorry.
Sabir,
now,
I have questions. This is a good time or you want to keep running?
Please.
Go ahead.
No, it's done. It's done. I mean, please go ahead with your question, please.
Okay. Because you just showed a lot there. You were showing all kinds of authentication solutions and even application level password, and then mapping your printers, kind of like it was all just a given. So I want to kind of understand that better, but we do have a couple of specific questions. Someone was asking if there's a process where the user can plug in the ZeeTim, enter their password or whatever authentication method, because you showed it as passwordless, and then immediately connect to their Citrix desktop, which I guess would be some sort of auto launch or, taking you straight to a desktop.
Yes, I mean on the USB, on the ZKey USB, you have also the credentials, but you can also insert some information regarding the commands you want to start when you insert it. And it's also keep the information of the last software which has run that has requested the credentials.
Okay.
So as soon as you plug in, it tries to start the software which which has last request the password, and that's why you can see that it's completely automated, because the user has, if it has started Chrome last time, it asks Chrome to connect to the Chrome with the URL. Okay, so it connects directly to Access Gateway or the storefront and provide the credentials, and that goes on.
Interesting. Yeah, I can tell it's highly automated because of what it could all do. So I imagine you can put some preferences in there. Launch this. Remember, that was last apps you're describing. The other question was about if you have any support at this point for FIDO2 tokens or other kinds of smart cards.
Sure. We have we support any kind on authentication or even USB. We can support any kind of physical support. So on this USB key, we have it's a specific proprietary key. We had there's a built-in chip on it. There today we are the only who can provide this type of keys, but there will come a day where the user will be able to do it himself, and we can tell them which kind of key they can use. But this is today, we just keep it mainly for security reasons, so we have made this specific key.
So you can extend it to other solutions, but you have a solution that's kind of like all on a key. Right out of the box, easy to go. Fantastic. And Arnaud is asking, is the OTP, a ZeeTim developed solution, or it's another solution? In this case, which OTP providers can be supported?
So this is all the products are developed by us. So ZOTP was developed by us to fulfill some requests of the French security administration, and but it works. We followed all the RFCs, and it follows all. You can use it to connect to any kind of application or any kind of desktop. It's reliable and standard.
So one thing I'm learning right away, and there's a lot of questions, so I hope that's okay. We might not get through the whole rest of the program, but that's good. It seems like you have a highly extensible framework, because everything you're telling me shows that you've kind of made it so it's very simple and sort of automated. But every question we've asked, you're able to extend it or plug into other standards. Does that sound right?
Can you say it again? Sorry.
Sure. It sounds like the framework is very automated for
Yes.
making it simple, but also capable of extending into
Yeah.
other supported functionalities.
Yeah, completely. It's really open. It's modular, and we can really extend it one way, another way, and adapt it to specific needs of even between applications.
Right. Okay. Now we have a lot of questions. Should we just keep going, Omar, with the questions, or do you want to keep showing?
Yeah. I mean, I think because it's a newer name. ZeeTim is a new name. Not many people know much. Maybe there's a lot of questions we should address right away.
Okay, I agree. There's a lot of enthusiasm here because this is a lot of questions and they're really good ones. Adam asks, can we shadow the ZeeTim user sessions, like with a team viewer or some other type of local shadowing capability?
Yes. Yes, we have. Thanks to the management console, we can really shadow the local session of any kind of ZeeTim.
Okay, awesome. And then Kerry followed up on the question about auto launching the desktop and is saying the key is to not have the user see the ZeeTim OS. Like they're looking for a scenario where the user really doesn't see the local stuff at all and just goes right to work. Is that a scenario that?
So ZKey today can be used on ZOS, on the ZeeTim operating system, and can be also used on Windows.
Okay, great. Now, the next two questions kind of go together. Adam's asking about managing remote endpoints, patches, and configs, and Owen is asking about the management UI. So that might be a good segue, right, to show some of that. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. I think I can jump directly into this management console and show them that if that makes sense.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay, so I'm going to go live here.
We're going live, people. This is a live demo.
Yeah.
Welcome up.
So first of all, just before going to the management console, just to show you that okay, we are really a software company, but for people who needs a full device, device really which can fulfill most of the needs of the user, we are proposing also that kind of, anyone can do that kind of device. This is a physical device called ZeeTim. So why I wanted to show you that today you have a lot of devices made full of plastics. I wanted to say that we can do that with very little plastic. Of course, obviously there's a lot of stuff inside that I don't recommend for us, but we can have full devices, not very expensive, made of aluminum. It's full of metal here, and it's very efficient and it's not polluting at all, and we can do that. So anybody can do that. Now it's very simple made. It's a big heat sink, and we have all the you can have all the connectors, three monitors, DB9, serial COM port, all what you need to run Wi-Fi. It consumes less than 7 watt per hour, and
wow.
So we can do that kind of things very easily, and you can find it anywhere in the market, that kind of stuff, and you can just transform that, and put our operating system on it and run. So just to show you that full metal, there are some full metal devices very efficient that can last more than 10 years. Okay.
That's
so,
great.
So let's go to let me connect to this my session here of John Doe and then show you the management console. So I will just use my phone to generate my OTP here, because you have already seen how the push works. So we can just, that's also here. Great. So let me just tell you about this management console very shortly. I don't know if I have it here. The architecture is very simple. We have a server. I don't think I have somewhere. I have yeah, I have the video there. I can maybe show you the video here very quickly. Okay. So stop. Okay. So this is the architecture of our management console. So we have a server that comes with a gateway. We have the client, and we have the agent running on the device, on the operating system. So it's very simple, and we have a license server there. So what I'm going to show you is the client, which connects to the server to get all the information regarding the devices there. Okay. Okay. So first of all, it's a role-based access control solution. So depending on your login, you have the rights to manage some devices, and you have the right to do some actions. So I'm as an admin, I will log in as an admin, and then I will switch to as a user. So this is connected to the Active Directory, okay? Oh, sorry. Okay.
It looks like that's the administrative Sabir.
Just change? No. No. I think mapping, keyboard mapping maybe? Oh yeah, sure. Okay, sorry. Okay, so here, go very straight. So this is the admin console. All our products mainly are, all our products are developed in C, very fast, very efficient. This is what we used to we learned that very, and then we used to develop with. So it's very simple made, and no, there's not a lot of dependencies. So this tool is just one binary file. You can just have it everywhere and plug it and run it.
We just take a moment of silence for software today that is an executable binary that you can just copy and run. Thank you very much, Sabir.
Yeah, this is quite appreciated. Yeah, sure.
We have a web component as well, Steve, but it's for it's for other purposes. It's for like it's for monitoring and doing certain.
This warms my heart. Management console without all these other prerequisites, and you can just run it where you want. That's great.
Absolutely.
So this is the tool. This is the management console here. You can see it's in part. You can see here's the tree of all the devices we have here. We can gather them into groups or subgroups here, and you can populate these groups automatically. A user, you can have like a user at home connecting to, transforming his laptop to ZeeTim and connecting to your system. He will appear in a group here if you have configured the group appropriately. So they will come directly. So we call that zero-touch deployment. So you can really deploy very easily any kind of devices, and they will directly register into that system, into the database, into the server, and you'll be able to manage them. So all these groups here are, I mean, you can create as many as you want, you can as well, and for each group or for each for a number of groups, you can allow some user to manage a number of groups or number of subgroups of a number of devices. Let me go through.
Sabir, one quick question. You just described like pretty granular delegation, but you also said it was AD. Is that right? Because you said something about Active Directory.
Yeah. I mean, this is the authentication is linked to Active Directory. So it depends on your. So when you connect to that, and then you are. I mean, you can connect to any LDAP. I mean, and you can connect to.
You can delegate objects as well to Active Directory.
Exactly.
Okay. Great.
Exactly. That was the meaning. So this is a device. Let me connect to that device. So what we can do on device, let me show the configuration we can do here. Mainly we don't use it, all of them. I will go really few tabs here. So general tabs is okay. Information, global information you can provide to it. Main information are, since we provide into the operating system, we provide browsers, then you can have a startup URL here. And this is the server URL, which we can provide through DHCP option also. Let's go to menu here. So one thing I want to show you that this device, this operating system can run into, I mean, you can use it in zero client mode. We call it zero client mode. You can just select which application will run as soon as you start it. So it can be a Chrome, I mean, Workspace, any kind. So when you just start a device, this is the only application that will run and connects you where you want.
Okay, so this is that earlier question we had about, can you present something direct? So the person brings the client up, and this is where you can say, go directly to some app.
Exactly. And it run in kiosk mode, so the user will see nothing else than his window there.
Okay, good.
And you can use it in thin client mode, where we propose a desktop. So we have start menu here, desktop here. You can just drag and drop put all the application you want here, and you can just configure them. One thing I may show you is that this VPN, we have like VPN also there, very useful to connect through VPN, because we still have some companies that needs VPN to connect to their system. So we can use that to connect a Netscaler or any other competitors. We have also the ZConf Gateway. This is very interesting feature. Any device which is in the LAN or outside the line will be managed the same way. The only difference will be that devices which are outside the LAN will connect to the server, to the gateway here, which is included into the software.
So just, Sabir, let me ask about that, because someone was asking if there's a SaaS option. So in that scenario, the server is on the LAN, and there's a gateway for remote endpoints to come back in through. Just to be clear what we're saying, right? Okay.
Exactly.
So it's a customer-owned management
solution,
server. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
And let me show about Citrix here tab. So I mean, you can configure all, of course. I mean, you can configure all the options of Citrix here. If it's not done on the software, then you can really you can really configure and optimize the Citrix configuration here. You can select when the application starts, what happens when you turn it off. At log of action, you can power off, reboot the machine, and so on. Security tab also is interesting. You have these certificates, of course, that needs here. Java is there also, so you can use any application that runs Java. So we have some customers connecting to application from the local browser that runs Java that needs that. And you have the ZK configuration here. Okay, so
Sabir, you're saying you can actually configure certs, and can you push them to the endpoint?
Yeah, exactly. So now, so this is this device here. and this is one device configuration, of course. So how we update that? So very simple ways to update. If we have new packages, then we could provide you these packages. You just put that on the server, and the device will pull these packages depending on a planning you did, you configure here, depending on your bandwidth, depending on the number of devices you want to do at the same time. And they just took the devices. Now, if you want to we call that auto update, okay? Now, if you want to pull some configuration, to push some configuration to some devices, it's very simple. We have, you can create template. So when you configured one device, just go, you can create template, and I want just to show you that how a template is. So template is like really very granular. You can really pick up a very single point of configuration here, single file here, and create a template with it. You know, just want to change some, I don't know. So this will be, it's in a way of getting a bit more understandable. But let's say, yeah, let me take that one. This is the sleep time. Just take it here, create a template. Okay, and you can create several templates with different configuration, and you can apply several templates on each group or in each subgroups. It can be Citrix and storefront URL, any kind of parameters you can take there, and then you can just go into a group here, okay, and you can select the templates you want to apply, in which group, on which group, which subgroup, and then this configuration will be applied on the device.
That's really cool. You know, the other thing I'm noticing, Sabir, just you're showing the framework for templates and applying settings, but as you click in, I'm seeing all these really detailed Citrix settings. So
Yes.
this reminds me of when Pierre Momignon created Norscale, and it was based on like the consulting in the field and all the settings and things that you needed. So, you know, he was doing like user profile management, but it had all these specific checkboxes for, you know, Citrix stuff. And I'm seeing a lot of that in there. Can you speak to a little bit about that, like how you came up with all these settings?
So as you know, we are really focused on this on Citrix. I mean our main customers are running Citrix, and we have a sister company focused on integrating Citrix. So we really we are how can I say that? We've all the setup we've done. We have find out a lot of optimization that can be done through for Citrix land there, and this is what we have added there and proposed there, and this is why you will find a lot of stuff here that is that suits only. I mean, that is dedicated to Citrix connections.
That's really cool.
Okay. Sabir, in the interest of time, because I think we only have 10 minutes left,
okay.
Can we show the web console? Are you able to show the web piece?
Yeah, sure. So this is, I mean, just 1 minute to show that this is the tool to configure, to manage the updates, and to send the configuration and so on to all the devices here. You can have really thousands of devices here. So it's really like dedicated for admins. We have here a web management console here. Should start somewhere here. Yes. Okay. So that shows this is more dedicated to help desk, okay, or regular support teams, which shows. Let's say here you can see that this you can see the devices you have connected here. So these are the repurposed device. These are our physical devices here. These are laptops or any PC that have booted on the USB key. So you know exactly how many you are here, how many are connected through one. That means coming from the gateway, how many are connected in the LAN. So you can see that at a glance in this dashboard. When you deploy your devices, you will be able to see here how many were deployed today, how many, I mean, of each group of devices were deployed today. Okay, so it's really there. So for head test, it's very easy here. You can see, you can connect to here. So I don't know, it was here. You see all the devices here. I mean, how they are on. These are on. These are off. You can have all the information regarding device here. We can connect via VNC. As I told you, you can just take control of it. You can restart them, shut down them. We can turn them on if work online is allowed. One thing also interesting here, if you go to the list, so you have a lot of columns here. You can filter that and show all these columns here, and you have valuable information here. And this table is enriched by director connections. So we connect to director and get the username, get the connection time to the Citrix session, idle time, the mode of the which state is the session, idle, disconnected. So and then we get and provide information here. So it's useful to the for the
really, it's really cool, Sabir. Is that your management server talking to director? Is that how that
exactly?
Okay.
Yeah. So thanks to all the APIs provided by Citrix, we really connect to that and get all the information. So this can be really a user for help test tool. Okay.
I know we're just down to our last few minutes. Can I take some questions now? Is that okay, guys?
Please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So this Carrie just asked us. I've got some queued up, but this is relevant to what you just covered. Could the management console be run from DigitalOcean or similar to enable support for multiple customers or disparate non-connected sites? Or must the management console be only one per site / per customer? So as it's like asking about multi-tenancy. I think
yeah,
is the basic.
It is multi-tenancy by default. We can have since the same console can be we have here CSPs that are using it, and you can just share. I mean, they can have their own console, but depending on the rights you give them, they will see only their devices.
Okay, so one management plane, and then you delegate separate tenants. It sounds like.
Exactly.
Okay.
It is already used as a multi-tenant today.
Great. Okay, I'm going to get a couple more questions in the few minutes we have, because there was multiple questions on the authentication. We mentioned AD, and people asked about Azure AD or other cloud authentication options.
Yes, they're all there. I mean, today we are focused on Azure AD and AD, but it can be any LDAP connections there behind that.
Okay.
So
great.
You can do any AWS, any cloud-based connection, no issue.
Great. And then we have a question. Do we have the option to generate automated reports of the information we see in the web-based management console?
Yes.
So
yes. I mean, ZConf is a solution which is fully API enabled, and we can export all this information here to any kind of tools. You can have an inventory tool. You can have a UiPath. We just did for UiPath for automatizing this, as you said, these reports. So it's really like an open tool. We can connect any kind of solution to that to get information and make automatized reports made. To make an inventory of any kind of things. And all of our solutions are that way. Even ZOTP is that way, ZK is that way, and they're quite open. And all the logs can be used, or the information can be used by other solutions.
That's fantastic. This is really impressive, guys. It's really cool. So I saved this question for last because it's the hardest and perhaps the most penetrating and interesting. So the person asked, I'm sorry, I didn't write down the name. I had to pull these out. There's somebody flying by. But it's why ZeeTim over something like iGel? What are the major differences?
This is the main question.
I told you it would be on
I've heard that question before.
Yeah. What I can say, okay, it's what the customers told us, okay, and what we think is that first of all, we have it's a very secure operating system. You just have to look at it. For example, there's really we don't use password anymore on that operating system. It's all the connection are done through certificates or keys. There is no local configuration option. So that means nobody can modify the configuration of one device when it's just in front of it. So to show you that this is a hardened operating system. Second thing we can say that we have these ZK options, which goes with the operating system, and that's very helpful for users. And third thing, I think, which is not the least, the licensing options. We have this Z-Transformer to the software. When you just buy licenses for that software, the software is licensed for concurrent devices.
Okay.
So this is very important. I mean, you just take a license only if you use your device, and the license is not linked to the physical device. So a user can lose his key, create another key, connect. License is taken from the server side, on the server side, only if the user is connected. So this is really fair, I mean, licensing model, and this makes the difference. I think the main difference. Second thing is, I mean, all the stuff we did. We have this OTP solution which is integrated there. We have our printing solution which is, I mean, integrated also there. So scanning will come. All that, I mean, together makes a difference from iGel. I hope so.
Great. Well, that's a very impressive demo, guys. Thanks so much. I think all of it was awesome, but I think Aziz's video was the best. And for our 9-year-old product specialist.
Yeah, he'll be happy to hear that.
Yeah, sure.
He's been asking me, actually, are you going to show it? Are you going to share it on your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
So I think we will, after, you know, now that we have consensus that it's actually good. He'll be happy to hear that. The last thing I'll say, Steve and Stephanie, if anyone wants to see our product in more detail, we're happy to do one-on-one demos. So I think, you know, today it was really hard to show everything, and we focused on a lot of different areas. So let us know. I mean, connect with us, contact@zeetim.com, or just go to fill out the form on our website. And also our downloads are wide open. You don't even have to put your credentials. So we don't even want to know who's downloading. Go and download the Z-Transformer, try it out for yourself, and feel free to speak with us.
Yes, and last but not least, but this is just what people use for hot desking. This is quite good feature with ZKey, just live demo. Okay, it's just registered demo, but I mean, how it works, just take a ZKey here. It disconnects you instantly from your former desktop. Go back to a new desktop, connect it there, and you are connected there. Okay,
Come here.
Just a pin.
Come here. So Steve, this is Aziz. He just came into my office, so they said you did a nice video. So we loved it.
We really like it very much. Great job.
Thank you.
I gave you a comment on YouTube. Go check it out. I also want to thank our attendees today because there was tremendous interaction and questions and thoughtful feedback throughout. So thank you everybody for attending, and thank you Stephanie for having us. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks everyone. My GoToWebinar is all locking up on my screen sharing. I don't know if you can hear me actually.
We can hear you. Very good.
Okay. Yep, I have the beach ball. Okay, there we go. The spinny beach ball. All right, can you see? Not yet. Show the screen. I want to show you the giveaway. I know some of you opted in. There we go. Yay! It's fun with GoToWebinar today. I'm telling you. You guys don't know, but like, we went back and forth before this about dealing with the video, and it was supposed to play through GoToWebinar, and then, but you know, we made it work. Yeah, so hey guys, so I know that there's probably some questions we might not have gotten to, and if you didn't opt in to share your contact information, just drop me an email. You have it in your GoToWebinar confirmation, and I can get it over to Omar and Sabir and make sure we get answers for you. But I can also send them the direct transcript from today, and I can try to get some answers out of them that I can push out with the video. We'll see what they do.
Sure.
And I know some of you opted in for a chance to win one of 3 Amazon gift cards. So after this webinar is over, I pull the registration report. I use the Google random number generator, and I go through and I pick 3 winners, and I will send you an email and alert you. So keep an eye on Twitter to find out who won, or keep an eye on your inbox for an email from me. And Omar, I think we have 2 other things. I know we have a handout. Is that the same thing as the thin client buyer's guide that's in the giveaways?
No, actually, the handout we have attached here is our Citrix value add. So if you want to know like what values ZeeTim can bring to a Citrix environment, that lists, that's a kind of an overview. The thin client guide is kind of an unbiased way to look at thin clients. So if you're in the market to buy a thin client or opting for a thin client solution, it gives you a lot of the things that you should be looking at. So everyone that's in attendance, I think we'll just email it to everyone, Stephanie. And then, you know, the 10 free Z Transformer licenses, just come to me, through social media or contact@zeetim.com. Let me know you're interested in the 10 free Z Transformer licenses, and we'll give you the 10 free concurrent Z Transformer licenses, and they're yours to keep. Okay.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for this today. It sounds like we might have to do a follow-up webinar. I think there was so much there.
Yeah, we'll be touching base, Stephanie.
Lots of information to go over today. Thanks again. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you at another CUGC event soon. And maybe some of you will see Steve tomorrow at the Phoenix Metro meeting. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, Steve.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, Stephanie. Thank you.
Bye.